Hi, I'm Kellie Cottam from Step Up Britain and Forced Adoption Exposed, and I'm here with Sid, who has set off from Glasgow, and we are now in Manchester. In fact, we are outside Manchester City's football stadium, and we've come down here today to introduce Sid to some of the people down here and get some support for what Sid is about. Now, I've got a bunch of different flyers here of different campaigns that are currently going on to engage with the community, to let people know what is going on. In the UK, there is a child being taken every 20 minutes from their families, and this system is out of control. Children who need help are being left with abusive families, while children who are being taken from families who are then gagged. They're thrown out of the court system, and we need to do something. Sid is going to be heading down to London to Parliament and then off to Brussels, and we're basically asking the communities to come together. So all of the football teams, all of the rugby clubs, all of the different businesses and organisations, so that we can all unite for the rights of children. So Sid is in Manchester, and do you want to let people know why you feel that you need to be doing this walk?
Well, I started this because I've heard so many child abuse cover-ups and children being taken through false allegations and whatever. I've tried writing to Downing Street about a baby stolen from Spain without any legal documents, and I've got no joy from there. The social services say that they're only there for the children's best interest, but they took the child without any legal documents from a foreign country, and that's certainly not good enough. And a lot of these forced adoptions, to me, are children's human rights and parents' human rights violations, and they have to be stopped. There has to be more sensible laws. The children who need adopting have to be taken from the families that are harming them, not those that love them. So I'm walking from Glasgow to all the British parliaments. I've been to the Scottish Parliament. I'm going to the Irish parliaments in Belfast and Dublin. Walking around North Wales, where all the care home abuse has been covered up. When child abuse is covered up, that's a violation of a child's human rights to be protected, and they have to have human rights. They can't be gagged, and they have to have the law on their side, not the law on the predator side. So from Wales, we go to the Welsh Parliament, we do a conference in London, and then after London, as we walk in with another lady who's going to walk with me to Brussels, hoping as many people in Europe as possible may like to link up with us and join there too. And we need human rights for children. Immunity has to be abolished. It's a violation against children's human rights. And if the Court of Human Rights doesn't abolish immunity, then the Court of Human Rights is also violating the human rights of the most defenceless and vulnerable victims on the planet. To me, forced adoption, secret courts, immunity, it all has to go. There has to be sensible human rights. There has to be protection for all the children and from the good families that are having their families completely destroyed by this corrupt system.
And can I ask you, Sid, how old are you?
I'm a bit over 21. I'm 73. I might not be able to walk across the road next year, so I'm trying to give the strongest voice I can this year. I know that everyone will support us. If you belong to have a football club, a rugby club, an athletics club, or anything else that you think would like to support us in what we're doing, then bring us their flags, and we'll fly their flags with us. And we'd like them to support us on bungee jumps, tandem free fall, skydives or whatever. And we want to do this in a way that is non-offensive to anyone, non-confrontational. It's got to be done in a fun way where no one will be afraid to support us, or they will want to support us to protect children and families.
Now, I've known you for about 3 years now, and when we first ever introduced each other, for you it was about people who were being abused and the cover-ups were coming up, but you actually told me another story for what really got your heart. And what I think is important is that people understand that what maybe was going on back there is actually happening right in front of people's noses now. And you were talking about shoes, children's shoes.
Yeah. I worked in Poland in 1978, and I got married in Poland. And the Polish family took me to Auschwitz, and there I saw hundreds of kids, pairs of kids' shoes, artificial limbs, school satchels, and it made me want to help children. A horrific amount of children were just killed, and you know, to me, things like that in this world should never happen. And if we could all join together and try and make a better world by doing it some way like this. Later on, my son, 5 years old, he started school. He kept running away from home, from school. And when the wife said she was worried about him, I had a day off work, took him to school, and I can see his face now. As I took him to the gate, he looked up at me and says, "You don't want me now, do you, Dad?" I said, "Why?" He said, "You've got a new baby." I wondered how many kids who something totally innocent thought that they weren't wanted by their own families, run away in tears, got run over, and anything could have happened to them. So that made me dedicated to try and help protect children as long as I live.
There's a lot of campaign groups that are coming together at the moment, and one of the reasons that Sid is going to be heading down to London, and while he's walking, you know, and he has come down from Glasgow, it's so we can find as many people who are affected by this injustice. I know this system myself because they've got two of my children. Two of my children were taken by Flintshire Social Services, and it is happening to so many families around the UK, and this is a worldwide issue. So we're asking as many people to come together for an event called S.C.O.T. S.C.O.T is actually run by David Jenkins, another father who has been affected, and we need as many people there as possible. Without parents coming out and showing how big and great this injustice is, we can't break the media, and the reason that we can't break the media is because we are gagged, and the media itself cannot publish our stories. So the only way that we can do this is show the magnificent grandness of this just heartbreaking injustice. A child is being taken every 20 minutes in the UK, and the budget is not allowing to keep families together. There are children screaming to be heard, and Maggie Tuttle will be holding a conference on the 25th of July where they're asking as many people to come and learn about what is actually going on. And then I'm going to be going down to London and carrying Sid's message into the Parliament so they can do something about this. But injustice takes a long time to come through, and people are in the courts for years, and we have to send out a message that this needs to stop now. Children are being taken from their hospital beds, from their mother's breasts, and they're coming in with 20 police officers, and it is just going on rife. So if people just come forward, they connect with Sid, they can connect with Forced Adoption or any of the other groups. There's also the Children's Judicial Review, but without your stories, we can't let people know that this is really going on. And we need to call a public inquiry. We need the public to say this stops. Just leave you with this one message. If there are nearly 100,000 children in foster care, why is there not nearly 200,000 parents in prison? If a person has caused significant harm to their children, that is a crime. But these children are just being taken, and there is perjury, malfeasance. The system is in chaos, and the only way that we can do this is if the public get behind us, if parents come out and speak. And if you are gagged, don't worry about it. So am I, and I'm still speaking out this message, and I will do until my children are returned to me. And you know, it's really, really important that we get as many different organisations behind us, and we say stop this. So please support Sid. He's come all the way down from Glasgow. We're now in Manchester. We're at Manchester United Stadium, where we've had great support. And no, we're not at Manchester United. We're at Manchester City, but we're going to Manchester United because there is no boundaries and borders. We've all got to unite together, and it doesn't matter whether it's Manchester United, Manchester City, Liverpool. You know, this is about children, and this is about people coming together to do what is right for families. So thank you, and please connect to Walk for Justice, support Sid, and Twitter, Facebook. We're on pretty much most of the things that are going on, but we can't do this without your support. Sid is one man walking, and he's meeting people along the way who are affected by this injustice, and he's meeting people who, you know, wouldn't even believe that this was happening, and it's happening in 2014. So thank you, and Sid, you know, you're walking for all of our children. It's been a pleasure to know you, pleasure to be part of this with you, and yeah, for you to carry the message, and for your own daughter as well. And we shall all see you in London, but please be that down there. Sid will be getting there when he gets there, but we need all the parents down there from the 19th. July needs to be our breakthrough month. This is our month, and it's time to end this.
With 100,000 children running away from care homes and home every year, they're sleeping rough with no way of surviving. So if they can sleep rough, I can do it, at least with a sleeping bag and a shelter, to show the kind of support that we need. They have to have a safe home. Children's scream to be heard. They've got to be heard. They've got to have a voice, and they've got to have somewhere to go.
We can do this, but we can only do it together.